Comes to the line.
Claudette and Peg. So just remember who's before you, although I'll let you know. And Ed, and then Bill and Joe, ending with a rousing scene by George and Roxanne. Woo! Woo!
Well,
All right.
by which time, I hope you're all asleep. Because we will.
Think on it.
Because we will
Bill, be aware that if you can scoot. Yeah, because your shoulder goes in. So we'll record it if anybody, thank you for doing that, Abby. If anybody wants to show it to someone, we'll have to record it. If you don't, we'll still have it.
Well, I'm kind of known in my social circle as the jokester. And so I have chosen a few that were crowd pleasers. The first one is about a couple, nice couple. They have two beautiful children. And they talk it over and they think, well, maybe we should try for a son. They do. And sure enough, she delivers a bouncing baby boy. And the father comes in to look at the child. And he looks and he goes, ooh. And then he goes, ooh, again. He said, how can this be? This baby isn't very good looking. We have two beautiful daughters. And he looks side-eyed at his wife and he says, have you been fooling around? And she looks at him and she says, not this time. This is another couple story that's a little different. It's about a very clever businessman, very successful man. He has a secretary, and the two of them have always had this little thing, but they've never acted on it. But on this one particular day, it becomes too overpowering, and they leave and they go to the apartment of the secretary and they carry on for hours and hours. And then I think the man got tired and he thought, oh my God, he came to his senses, and he gets up and he says, go out into the lawn and get grass and dirt on my shoes. And he gets dressed, and she brings in the shoes, and he goes into his home. Well, his wife is furious. He walks in the door, and she says, I've been trying to get you for hours. Where have you been? He said, well, I've always had this thing for my secretary, and we never acted on it, but for whatever reason, we did today. And she looks him up, and she looks him down, and she looks him up, and she looks him down, and she says, you liar, you've been playing golf. Now you know why that man was so successful. This is another couple story, but they're a different couple. It's Sadie and Mabel. Sadie and Mabel are from the East, and they always meet at the beauty parlor. So Sadie goes up to Mabel at the beauty parlor, and she says, oh, Mabel, you won't believe it. Irving is getting married to a nice Jewish girl. And Mabel is very happy because she didn't think Irving ever was going to get married. And then Sadie says, but I'm concerned. Irving says she has something called herpes. And Mabel says, herpes? She says, not good. I have a medical dictionary at home. I'm going to look it up, and I'll call you with the results. So she does. She says, Sadie, not to worry. It says very clearly, herpes is a disease affecting the Gentiles. I like medical jokes. Now, there's this one about, I have a friend, Father Murphy out east. And Father Murphy was in the confessional waiting for people on one Saturday afternoon, and he hears some bumbling around outside, and then the door slings open, and he hears someone flop down in the bench in the penitent area. And then nothing happens. Not a thing. So the priest is getting a little bored, so he goes, he tries to make noise so the guy or woman, whatever, knows that he's there. And nothing happens. So then he raps on the confessional wood, and with that he hears, sorry, can't help you, bub. There's no paper on this side either. Now this last one is a little crass. Maybe a lot crass. But it seems to be very popular. I'll try it on you. There is a mortician. You wouldn't like it. Not a nice man. And he's working on Mr. Schwartz. Now, Mr. Schwartz has, in the mortician's opinion, one of the most incredible private parts he had ever seen in his life. And it was so incredible that he thought it needed to be kept for posterity. So you got it, he locked it off, and he put it in a preservative jar. He finished his day's work and he went home. And he had the jar in his briefcase. He opens up his briefcase, he takes out the jar, he shows it to his wife after he had told her, "You won't believe what I have here." And she takes a look and she goes, "Ah, Schwartz is dead."
Oh, that's off the ice, all right.
Yeah.
You're shocking, Joe.
Good. Shocking.
That was a nice tech fun. Yeah. All right, Claudette, you are up.
Okay. I need to appreciate it. So my senior, in a perfect world, this would all be in here, but it's not. So I'm
Well,
gonna
we
use,
all know we don't live in a perfect world.
that's
so-
correct.
Why
So
don't you speak for yourself?
What's that?
Tell us the
He said, speak for yourself.
Yes.
So, the backstory on this is that I originally wrote an earlier version of this a couple years ago for a comedy class that we had. And then we were going to do, before COVID, a variety show here at the Senior Center. And I swallowed hard and I said, I'll try to get this more and, get it together. And anyway, the long story on that is that COVID came and it never happened. So I've never really done this. It's a lot of it's similar, but there's some things that are different in this. So I welcome the chance to just try to do it in front of an audience. And I'm going to try to do as much as I can on my head, but I'll sneak peeks, I know. So I'll say it out loud. And some of this is original, and some of it is just little one-liners that I picked up along the way that I really liked and that fit with my theme. So, yeah. Keep explaining. Say
That's
that
all
again.
the time we have for today.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, I wanted to hear more explanation of the background.
Oh, well, that was it. Okay, this is on aging. So, as a mature woman, I'd like to share some of my perspectives on aging. Now, aging is that thing, that wonderful thing that happens at birth and just keeps on coming. Lots of people happen to think that aging is only important if you're a German cheese or a good wine. But have you ever noticed that as we get older, two things inevitably rise to prominence? Wisdom and weight. So now, regarding wisdom, we hope it starts developing early in life. And as I think about that, my own youth, I have memories about my Aunt Sophie's dog, Tuffy, and clear life lessons that I learned along the way with him as my companion. So, lesson number 1, oral hygiene. Okay. As a 3-year-old, I used to spend a lot of overnight visits with my Aunt Sophie. And we had developed this regular routine that in the morning I would come into the kitchen with my toothbrush. She would put the proper amount of toothpaste on the brush, and then I'd go back into the bathroom and brush my teeth. Well, one morning, after my 3rd trip to the kitchen, Aunt Sophie decided to follow me into the bathroom. And there I was, brushing my teeth, mine and Tuffy's. Oh, brush, brush, brush for me. Brush, brush, brush for Tuffy. Now, if it was a good and important thing for me, certainly it was good for Tuffy too. Right? Yes. Okay. Another lesson. Fast forward. When I was around 5 years old, and I don't know how or where, but I kept hearing about this thing called bonding, the focused and intentional effort to really connect with someone. Well, my someone was Tuffy. So it should not have come as any surprise at all that afternoon when Aunt Sophie found Tuffy and me holed up in the front hall closet eating milk foam dog biscuits. Now, milk foam dog biscuits.
Oh, dog biscuits.
So, Tuffy appreciated the fact that I was the one that could reach into the cabinet and get to the biscuits. And when I did that, Tuffy and I found a nice private place where he and I could enjoy each other's company together. Bonding. Tuffy really appreciated my sharing, and actually I thought they tasted good too. Sort of like crackers, but with a little extra crunch. So the path to wisdom continued. And years later, as a teenager, there were a lot of opportunities to develop wisdom. And I wised up real quick at our 8th grade dance when I realized that the best way to get rid of all my troubles was to wear tight shoes and an even tighter girdle. Keep in mind, this was the 60s. Girls, nylon stockings, girdles. And a number of years later, you laugh, but you were probably wearing those girdles too.
I was.
Okay.
Yeah, they were funny.
And George still is.
And a number of years later, when I was expecting my son, I was pregnant with my son, I came to this profound realization that the only time in my life when I wanted to be older was when I was 9 months pregnant. Now in retirement, I've lived a lot of years. Yeah, a lot of them. I can't remember. But sometimes it's frustrating because right now I have a lot of answers, but nobody's asking me the questions. But I am philosophical because I believe truly God put me on this planet to get a certain number of things done. And right now, I am so far behind that I will likely live forever.
Here, here.
I haven't gotten to my other side. This side.
Here, here.
So now that I've finally got my head together, I feel like my body's expanding to encompass the universe. It has taken me 4 years to lose 5 pounds. But I guess it was worth the wait. And I used to think that it was the dryer that shrunk my clothes, but now I realize it's the refrigerator. It's the refrigerator. And I have learned also that as I get older, keep laughing, good. As I get older, it's harder and harder to lose weight because by now, I and my fat have become really close friends.
You bonded.
Just wait. Just
absolutely.
wait.
I'm waiting a lot. Okay, wait. There are a few benefits to fighting off this weight thing, though. And a couple of years ago, my husband Mike and I vacationed in Hawaii, and as a special adventure, we decided we were going to go on a helicopter ride in Waimea Canyon on the island of Hawaii. Well, we quickly learned the drill. You do not step into a helicopter until you first step on the scale. And the prize for those who win is you get to sit in the front seat of the helicopter with the pilot. Imagine how much fun it was for the 5 of us, all retirees, one at a time, to step onto that scale and to realize that our seat had been confirmed. There was no amount of money that could make for a seat change, except for one of our passengers who happened to be British, because I believe that her British pounds really helped secure her seat in the second row. We were lucky that day, Mike and I, because we ended up sitting in the front seat with the pilot, and I think some of the others were stressed out about their seat assignments. Mike and I had a better view, but they should have just accepted the fact that stressed is the word desserts spelled backwards. And this was simply their payback time. Now you have it, the trials and travails of a now wise woman who chooses not to be weighed down by the present reality that if I eat that 1 pound box of Christmas chocolates, I will surely weigh 3 pounds more on the scale. Thank you. What is that about? Oh, good job. It's so fun to gain weight. It's not fun to lose it. Oh, I don't think that's the
Just
reason.
wait.
Why?
Another 10 years.
Yes, Peg, you were.
What's that? Another 10 years? Well,
Joe.
Great time, everybody.
Look at Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, look
When
at
it's amazing. When I tell people that I'm 36, they just don't believe it. Happens all the time. It's good living, I think.
I can hear these things.
Oh, this is Ed and Peg.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, Peg has hers and Ed is filling in on it. And then Ed has one that's just it.
Wait.
Yeah, sidebar,
Wait a minute,
sidebar.
You want a couple?
Nope.
You can angle the,
We have 2 more.
you can angle the table, diamond the table instead of,
Well,
because then you'll both be,
What are they doing?
okay.
something.
I think it's a bit.
This is a great being behind the scenes for a nationwide telecast.
All
You
right,
get to see, just like Saturday Night Live.
all right, here we go.
Haha, welcome to a late show. Famous woman raised by squirrels.
Yay!
Whose line is it anyway?
Famous? Me? I was just asking for the public restroom.
It says here that you were raised by squirrels in a forest preserve and discovered by people having a church picnic.
Yes. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
How did you learn English?
I'm singing along with the Christmas special of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Well, tell us, how do you make a living?
I teach corporate executives how to climb trees and hide their nuts.
Do you have children?
Yes, I have children. Right now, they're working part-time as earmuffs. Earbuds.
Well, what about hobbies? Do you have a hobby?
Yes, I'm in an advanced acting class.
Whoa, so you study advanced acting methods.
No, we're advanced in other ways.
Well, do you have any words of advice for actors?
Yes, and.
What?
Yes, and.
I love how you incorporated the class into that.
Yes,
Oh,
very
wow.
clever.
Okay, I'm next, right?
Yes, and Peg, as I know you always do, so I have to ask, did you wear what you wore today specifically?
And look at the tree.
Because she was raised by girls, she's wearing brown with a leaf necklace, and she even has a green tie in her
Yeah,
hair, so
green,
it's very tree-like.
Very coordinated.
She lives in the trees.
Boy, that is.
Yes.
Talk among yourselves for the next half hour while I get my stuff
And chatting.
What are we doing now? Oh,
So,
Setting.
well, he's setting up, Abby, yes, is there anything about next semester or session we should talk about? Like telling people to keep their eyes out?
Yes.
No.
Everyone,
No.
keep your eyes out. This is a good skit. I will send out information about our spring 2022 session in either the coming weeks or right at the start of January, which I guess is the coming week, because it's December 14th. Hell! But stay tuned for that. Obviously, we hope you'll all join us again. You're kind of the bread and butter of this class at this point. I will also, before that time, I'll send an email to you all this week, and the Senior Center in Metropolis is starting to do end of class evaluations. It helps them track data for like their reporting, but it also helps us for future planning and just getting to know you better and your class experience. So it'll just take a couple of minutes, and it'll be through email, so it shouldn't be too much work, but just keep your eyes peeled for that. And then following up in the next month or so, more information on our upcoming session of Acting Through Life.
When will it be? Will it be in February? I mean,
No earlier than that.
Yeah, definitely not earlier than mid-February, sometime in February, early March.
okay.
Yeah.
That's good, actually.
Yeah, so you'll have a long break to visit and have fun with
To recover.
friends, and recover from the fruitful game.
Honestly,
I
no
think I'm
announcement
from
yet
the-
on the topic.
We do not know yet. We have had, requests from people that they could go back to doing their comedy scenes that they were working on pre-COVID that got shut down.
TV and me.
Yep,
Yeah.
so we will revisit the TV and me show, as an option.
Yeah.
But if you have other options you would like us to consider, don't hesitate to email Abby and let her know.
Do we have choice? Other ABC?
Oh, do we have a potpourri of options?
This is just a freewheeling survey. If you have something.
Drama, maybe?
George is all about doing drama, so.
Hey, let's go.
Okay, all right.
Hey,
How about Shakespeare?
don't you have class today? Getting kind of late.
I should have remembered, he canceled class today. Trapped in my own coat.
That's fun.
That was
Wordless,
great.
worked with a mask
Physical
on.
comedy, yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that was
That's
nice.
like
Nice.
Looney Tunes come to life.
Interesting.
Yep, back to the early forms of,
Yeah, it's
studying
working.
about comedian
Untitled
art
Chapter.
and a little bit of Lotsie, and he turned it into a whole sketch. So yay! Yes, ATL sketch. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, yay! And next up is Phil. Oh, Phil knows that. Okay. Great.
Yes.
No, you keep going. You let us know when you're ready.
My stage overview.
I'm trying to.
These are what are often known as bar jokes. A standard bar joke would be two guys walk into a bar. You think at least one of them would have noticed it. You got to drag these out on the road. A bar. See, simply.
Got it.
Okay, good. Excellent, good. So they go things like this. A skeleton walks into a bar, orders a beer and a mop. An alcoholic mummy walks into a bar for the 8th time on the same day. Says, "Give me one for the road." The bartender says, "Tut, tut, tut." Horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, "So why the long face?" Roman walks into a bar and says, "Give me 5 beers." You don't get it? No. Okay.
We'll talk later.
Try this one. 2 jumper cables walk into a bar. Bartender says, "I'll serve you, but don't start anything."
That was a lot of fun.
That was,
Wait a minute, George,
Uh,
what did you say?
he said it was electrifying, but don't encourage him. A chicken walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve chickens here. Why don't you try the place across the road?" Guy sitting at the bar like this, tosses down a drink. Pretty soon he tosses down another one. Bartender says, "Wow, how long's it been like that?" Guy says, 20 years, maybe more. Another guy in the bar says, "I'm a chiropractor. I can help you with that." "No, it's not gonna work." "Let me try." Cracks his neck. "Boom. Great. 20 years. That's wonderful. Thank you. This is great. Give me another drink." Two guys in a bar in Honolulu, and they start discussing what's the proper pronunciation of the islands. Is it Hawaii or Hawaii? They look around, they see a native-looking guy in an aloha shirt. They say, "That guy, he probably lives here. Let's ask him." "Sir, is the proper pronunciation of this beautiful place Hawaii or Hawaii?" I says, "Well, we locals, we say Hawaii. He says, thank you. He says, you're welcome. Guy's in the bar with comes in the bar with a dog. Bartender, if I can prove to you that this is a talking dog, will you buy me a beer? Bartender says, I've seen a lot of stuff. It's better be good. Okay, go ahead. Turns to the dog and he says, what's that thing on top of the house? The dog says, roof. The bartender goes, oh, come on, man. All right, here's your beer. Guy drinks the beer, gives a little bit to the dog, just finishes it. Says, bartender, if I could really prove to you that this dog can talk, will you buy me another beer? Bartender, this better be good. He turns to the dog and says, how would you describe an old tree branch? The dog says, rough. Bartender says, no, come on, all right, here's your beer. Drinks it, gives some to the dog, finishes up, and says, bartender, I know you're skeptical, but give me one more chance to prove this dog can talk. Bartender says, all right, no tricks, you're both out on your ear. Turns to the dog and says, who is the greatest Yankee ball player of them all? Dog says, Ruth. You see, Babe Ruth. Dog can talk. Bartender throws them both out in the street. They wind up sitting on the curb. Dog looks at the guy and says, so what, I should have said Lou Gehrig? One more. Guy sits down at the bar, reaches in his pocket, he takes out a tiny piano, sets it on the bar, reaches another pocket, takes out a tiny little mouse. The mouse is dressed in a top hat and tails. He sets the mouse down on the piano and says, play it. The mouse starts, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's amazing. That's wonderful. Here's your beer. Finishes the beer, gives a couple sips to the mouse. She says, bartender, I could show you something even better. Would you buy me another beer? That's going to be tough to top, but yes. Reaches in another pocket, takes out a tiny little microphone on the stand, puts it by the piano. In his pocket, he takes out a canary, dressed in an evening gown. Sets the canary by the microphone. He says to the mouse, play. The mouse goes, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He says to the canary, sing. The canary goes, va solo via, va fronte io, vadante io, va fronte io. Everybody in the bar goes crazy. They're applauding, they're clapping on the back. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Guys, thanks. He has the beer, puts the mouse back, and puts the piano back. Bartender says, I don't understand this. With an act like that, you could be on television, you could be in a circus, you could be making a fortune. You said you're hustling for drinks. I don't get it. I said, no, it would never work. People would understand very quickly that the whole thing's a fraud. It's a fraud. We saw it. We heard it. Just confidentially, the canary can't sing. The mouse is a ventriloquist. Most of them know.
Oh, Joe brought something for the class.
Do you want a donation or something?
Hey, Bill,
Want a tip?
let me know when you can start.
Since I put the hat in it.
Oh.
You ever been to Schenectady?
No, I've never been to Schenectady.
Neither have I. There must have been some other people. You know, I still think I've seen a huge thing. Someplace.
It's always been right here at the top of my neck. Oh, maybe you've seen me on TV.
No. Look, I've never been on TV.
Yeah. So why are you here?
Oh, can I join you? I'd like to have a couple of drinks and refill this bottle because I need to settle my nerves before I go to work.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fine. What kind of work do you do?
Well, I'm an airline pilot.
Hmm. How did you get into that line of work?
Well, I used to be a bus driver, but I quit. Too many drunks on the road.
Well, what do you fly?
Well, you know, one of those big metal things with the whatchamacallit on your side.
Wings?
Oh, you an island pilot too?
No, but I've been high plenty of times. So, did you ever have any close calls?
Oh, yeah. Especially when they moved the ladies' room to the back of the plane.
No, I was on a flight from Los Angeles to Miami about 2 weeks ago, and the plane lost an engine.
Oh, don't worry. They'll find it.
Yeah, well, I figure it was maybe because of all the air pressure.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of pressure. Way up high with those flying around in those white fluffy puffy things.
Clouds?
You sure you're not a pilot?
So, what's it like being an airline pilot?
It's quite sobering and interesting to know, inspiring to know that hundreds of people count on me. I hold their lives in the palm of my hand. Well, I think I gotta go.
Well, we could go to my place.
No, not tonight. I gotta be at the airport. And I'm flying a 747 to London, and it leaves an hour and 43 minutes ago. Run, sailor.
Oh. Dodge that bullet, I'd rather be on my ship than her airplane.
Thank goodness it already left. Yeah.
Well, that was a wonderful class.
Thank
you very much.
And
Yes,
just in time
Everybody,
for
now we're out of time. We have to go over to Tuscana.
I love that entrance. That cracks me up.
We can't go to Tuscana.
Come on up.
I got you to roll that night too. Oh, thank you.
We're never ready. We just
I
know
really
that.
cleaned and then burned.
Never ready.
Did you see the numbers advancing when I was doing it? No. Were they? I didn't, actually didn't notice. I was watching the performance.
We were gonna do this off the cuff, but I gotta play with you. I just made that up.
A little warmer.
Roxanne.
How are you? I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah, since we dated in high school or something like that.
Yeah, something like
I won't
that.
forget about that, yeah. So, how you doing?
Just doing a little Christmas shopping.
Yeah, I went Christmas shopping early. I bought myself.
What'd you get?
What?
I said, what did you get?
What? Oh, what did I get?
Uh-huh.
New hearing aid.
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear everything now. I can hear clearly now. Okay, but anyway, yeah,
How are they working for you?
not well. But I did hear you.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. Hey, would you like to just chat over a cup of coffee?
Are you gonna pay for coffee?
Sure, I'll go buy the coffee.
Okay, I did. Okay, I'd like decapitated. I mean,
Regular or decaffeinated, what do you want?
decapitated.
Gotcha.
I dumped the one on that. I'd like a little cream. An artificial sweetener. I'm on a diet.
Perfect. I've got, gotcha tea. Gotcha tea?
What?
Gotcha tea. It's green, it's healthy for you.
Gotcha tea.
Yeah. M-A-T.
I'm not.
M-A-T-C-H-A. Gotcha tea.
Hey, how was your Thanksgiving?
You know, it was okay. You know, family gathering around for the first time, you know, with COVID and everything. There were some weird discussions. How was yours?
Next year, we ate so much. I love turkey. I always love turkey, especially the thighs.
The thighs.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're supposed to love
I got dry eyes. Do you?
Yeah, dry eyes. Okay. And how about the drumsticks?
How did you handle having only 2 drumsticks on your turkey? Did you have a big crowd?
Yeah, we had a big crowd. I got my drumsticks for my drum, and I started pounding them, just to kind of make some noise. And then some of the crazy people there started eating it because they drank too much.
Oh.
And they broke their teeth.
Gee, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Did you serve yams?
Did I serve ham? No, we didn't serve ham.
Oh.
We had turkey. I already told you we had turkey.
Sorry.
Yeah. You know what we're going to do next year?
What?
We're going to have a meatloaf dinner with mashed potatoes on a party bus.
For Thanksgiving?
Pardon me?
For Thanksgiving?
For Thanksgiving. Yeah, well, it's a new holiday.
What's
I
that?
heard about it.
What is it?
It's called Fastabus.
That's the bus?
Yeah, it's a party bus. Isn't that the new trend? That's a big joke, Festivus. I mean, that's kind of a pun.
Oh, I get it now.
You got it now. Huh? Okay, so
So what what'd you do with the wishbone with that big crowd of family?
well, the wishbone went on the salad. That's the wishbone. Oh, you mean the bone? Well, I cut that when I was carving the turkey, so we didn't really get it. We had to put it on the salad. It was kind of hard putting on the salad because you could choke.
So did you have a lot of leftovers?
A lot of what?
Leftovers!
No. We ate everything.
I heard some of your family left over a discussion about COVID and politics.
Oh, are you kidding? My sister, actually, she wasn't there because they wouldn't let her in. She wasn't there. But some of the other people were just.
Well, what do you guys talk about?
We talked about libs, and we talked about conserves, and then we
that's
all
hilarious.
got drunk, and I called my brother-in-law a jerk.
Oh, okay.
I did, and you're not picking up on this.
I heard your brother-in-law said it was a good thing that Biden got more electrical votes.
What did you say?
Electrical votes?
That's revolting. No, you mean electoral.
Okay.
Come on now, you gotta get this better. What about Hanukkah? You were gonna talk about Hanukkah?
I went to a friend's house and they had latkes and they were delicious. I sent a thank you card saying, thanks a latke. Molotov.
You mean Molotov? That's a cocktail. You don't have cocktails on Hanukkah. You say Mazel Tov.
Oh.
I know that because I
No
have
wonder she's not talking to me.
I have a Jewish granddaughter. I have a Jewish daughter-in-law, and she has the grandkids doing Hanukkah. She lights the menorah.
The Panera? What you turn Panera? Oh, you mean that thing with the candles?
No, I mean the bread. Oh, of course.
I hear that the really festive ones, menorahs have like candles that are all the colors of the rectum.
That's an anal experience. What are you talking about? That's a shitty joke.
Do you know anybody that plays with the dreidel?
The dreidel?
The dreidel.
That's Hansel and Dreidel. I mean, that goes in the forest. Hansel and Dreidel. What did you put in this? Is this?
Not enough.
Is this Johnny Walker Black?
Chicken dreidel soup is really good. You know, you have a cold, so I think that's a good tip.
Chicken dreidel.
Are you all set for Christmas?
I am.
Your family and everything?
Yes.
I got one of those annoying holiday letters from my sister, you know, where they recap a whole year's activities, blah, blah.
Yeah. I would do that, but it'd be so much writing that it wouldn't work. You know, you hear so much about, you hear about little Joey did this and little Francie did this and somebody did this and somebody did change the diaper. It's really gross. I really can't stand it.
Well, she said that her niece, which might be my daughter, anyway, her niece just won the World Origami Championship, and we'll be able to watch it on ESPN. It's on something called pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Oh.
So you've got orgasmically on pay-per-view. Did she wrote you about a sex joke?
Oh no, she was very proud.
Very proud.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a Christmas concert where the angels, something about barking angels or
Barking
angels.
Barking angel there on my gently barking o'er the plains. And the shepherds or the angels or the end reply.
Yeah,
Finish
boy,
it.
you should take that on the road. And then, have you got all your gifts?
All my gifts. What?
All your presents?
My presents.
You know, presents.
I'm present here. I am present. I am in the present. I'm now a Unitarian Universalist, so I'm always in the moment. I meditate to get in the present. Is that what you're talking about? That kind of present?
My sister added at the bottom of her letter, she said, here's some good advice. Don't drink and wrap presents while watching TV. And by the way, if anyone gets a remote,
Hey.
I finally got that.
for Christmas,
Oh, she wrapped the.
please send it back.
That's battery. You got a lot of new batteries. I love remotes because I can change the channel. Yes, and maybe we should change this channel.
She was bragging about her decorations on the front lawn, you know, the manger, and
The mangy?
the manger on the front lawn. There was a
Mangy
manger on the front lawn.
What's this guy? Was he saluting the manger?
I don't know. Actually, it was a stranger, and it was
It
not.
was a stranger
really
manger.
what they-
Oh, that reminds me of Stranger Danger.
And then she also told me about one of her neighbors. Listen to this.
Gym neighbors?
One of my sister's neighbors
Neighbors.
fell down an ice hole.
Not a what?
An ice hole.
An ice hole. It became an ice hole?
No, but
Ice hole. Oh, I get it. Oh, that's kind of funny. You know, you ought to go on acting through life.
And well, anyway, so in my preparations for Christmas, I was doing laundry, but I ran out of detergent, so I bought this limited edition tie at Menards. And I don't know what exactly happened or what they meant by limited edition, but now my shirts have Christmas decorations on them.
That's like Snoopy on your mask there. And something about what the detergent getting rid of all the transitions or something.
Hey, did you hear about the truck accident on I-90?
Semi-truck.
like, there was a truck accident on
Was
I-90
What's
last week.
happened, Chuck?
It was filled with Vicks Vapor Rub,
Ah, that's the joke.
and for the first time, there was no congestion for
Yes,
8
that was the joke. Ah, no,
hours.
congestion. Yeah, I think this is getting kind of nasal here. So I think maybe we ought to say it's stinky and maybe. So anyways, it's really been great meeting with you
Yes, and
again.
chatting. So this Festivus that you're very
Yeah.
excited
Well,
about. You know,
what
it's
is a
December
special- It's
23rd.
not Festivus, it's festival.
It's Festivus, and it's on December 23rd.
That's when we get the party bus, Festivus.
If you want.
I went through that before. The
Yeah.
Festivus.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, on that
there's
note-
some like pole involved, the pole dancing, or North Pole, or
North Pole dancing?
Oh,
Oh, aluminum pole.
okay,
That's what it is. It's an aluminum pole.
I've never celebrated before,
Yeah,
so I wasn't
well,
sure what they
My
meant.
wife's
Pole.
half a pole. Half pole and half Ukrainian.
Well, here's a
So I
little
call
fun
it
fact I'm gonna
Ukrainian.
leave you with, because I still got a little more to do on my shopping list here.
Okay, yeah, I think. we better
Do you know that the inventor of the Ferris wheel and the inventor of the merry-go-round never met?
Yeah, they were in circles or
They
something?
traveled in different circles.
Okay. Well, I think I'm getting a little tired. I think we oughta, yeah, maybe.
Well, happy Festivus if you're celebrating.
Yes, I love meatloaf. I love turkey more. So maybe I could have turkey more.
Festivus, heck with this.
That was a great rehearsal. Would you like to do it again for the camera?
That was great. George and Roxanne, that was really amazing. Yes.
The two people who
We'll
can't
take
hear.
all the adulation.
No, I
everything,
mean,
yes.
talk about doing a comedy scene about two people who can't hear each other and being able to riff off of it using improv.
I thought that's what we did.
Yeah. But George, that was great.
That was fun.
Joy wanted to apologize. She had to run, but wanted me to tell you that she thought it was brilliant and she enjoyed it very much.
I'll take all the credit, but Roxanne wrote it.
Well, you were riffing off of it. So all of you did such a fantastic job. Joy, I wish she had gone before. We got to tell her, as it's recording, Joy, that you are a natural stand-up comedian as well. So that was amazing. And I'm so glad you're still writing and and honing your stories that you do. Pieces like this that keep they ruminate for years here, and you've been able to add to it. And a really good job. Thank you for bringing it back. And Peg, that was hilarious. Raised by Squirrels. That is original.
Yes.
And your straight man who teed it up for you. So great physical comedy. And you're acting through life sketch. You really did the physical comedy that we talked about, sort of thing you see Lucille Ball do, and different comedians who really, like Jerry Lewis, who do all that physical comedy work and did the entrances and exits exercise over and over again, which was fabulous. So great job. Yay. And then I know our two partners in crime here. First, Bill with the bar jokes. Thank you for raising the bar on the bar jokes.
I think it was revolting.
And
It was a revolting joke, wasn't it?
Definitely teed it right up for our drunk lady who wrote the scene. You are such a good comedy writer as well, and you continue to amaze me with how you can couple that along with acting out your own pieces. So good job. All right, and the two most reticent of all the group to want to even do this, how you capped this day off with like a cherry on top of the sundae. Your dry senses of humor work together stupendously well. I think we, like Abby said, we see a new budding comedy team here. So congratulations. Well, thank you, everybody. Tom and Abby. Thanks for a great session, and I wish you all the happiest of holidays with you and your family. Stay healthy and well, as I will too, and we'll see you hopefully back sometime in February. If not before, maybe we'll get together for some gatherings before that.
There is one thing. I didn't remember something.
Oh, yeah.
We are doing.
Oh, here, do it in front of the camera. So they can see.
Okay, very good. I'm sorry, I forgot. We are doing a January Zoom Acting 101 workshop. So it's really just to tie it over if you want to, hop in and work on some of your skills, or for any of our folks who couldn't be with us, or for new people who just want to dip their toe in but maybe aren't sure. So I will send out the information about that. I think, please forgive me if I'm wrong, I think it's just $12 for a 1 hour Zoom engagement. I think it's mid-January. So I'll send that all out, but if you're like, oh, I kind of need a fix, it's New Year, and I'm not going to see
At $12, hey, you can.
for just $12. But yeah, I totally forgot about mentioning that. And obviously Robin's going to be teaching it. So
how do we get the $12?
Good one. And really what it is, it's a brush up of your acting fundamentals, because leading into whatever the spring class would be, we're hoping that, first of all, if new people were interested, that they wouldn't come into a new class not knowing some of the fundamental ideas about how to develop a character, how to choose a goal for your scene or an objective, how to play actions and overcome obstacles. So it's a workshop to be able to go over the basic fundamentals that most of you have learned in a longer setting before. But it's a brush up to be ready to work on whatever we're doing in the spring. And also to see each other, see the people who haven't been able to get out of their homes, and involve them, and hopefully we'll be able to keep doing some of these one-offs a little bit more to offer things to people who are not able to be mobile and be with us.
Yeah, and speaking of it, I talked to Donnie and Mike, and they wish everyone happy holidays.
Oh, nice. Yay.
And back at them.
Yeah. So happy holidays, Don, if you watch this. All right. Yay. All right, thanks everybody.
Yes.
Oh my God, my cheeks hurt. This was a fun day.
It's almost like
Your cheeks hurt?
Yeah, I'm smiling.
She's good.